up stage is a favorite of mine, favorite of yours, or soon to be a favorite of yours. She's wonderful. You're gonna absolutely love her. Please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Amy Rose Ranger.
It's so good to be here. How are you guys doing? Good. I'm so happy to be here. I live in New York, and I have a lot of weird jobs in New York. I teach gym classes to 1-year-olds. Yeah. The name of the class I teach is actually called Little Babies, Big Muscles. Because you know babies? You know how the one thing that would make them cuter is if they were ripped? It's weird. I was on the subway recently. It was a really crowded subway. And then it was like the middle of the week. And then this really drunk guy got on the train car. And I know he was drunk because this is the way he got on the train. He was like this.
Why is everyone wearing a backpack? God, I hate when people wear backpacks on the train. Everyone's just wearing their backpacks. I hate it. Ah!
And then there's this other guy sitting down who decided that that's the kind of person you should have a conversation with. This other guy sitting down was like, maybe they got books in their bags. You ever think about that? Yeah, maybe they're studying. You know, education's a problem in America right now. Maybe they got books in their bags. So it's getting really heated on the train. And then a third person starts talking. It's me. Just like hear myself suddenly saying to the crowd, you know what, everyone? I agree with the first guy. Backpacks are pretty annoying. If we all put it on the ground, it'd be safer for everyone. Just like, stop. And then a fourth person joined the conversation. It was like a 13-year-old girl, and no one had even noticed her. She was just like sitting on the far corner of the train with just a backpack on her lap, and she just goes, I think we're all just doing our best. So she won. I think she won the train that day. Yeah. One of my other jobs in New York, I read books to toddlers, which is fun. I recently had the opportunity to read the story of the 3 little pigs to these kids, and it was their first time ever hearing it, and they hated it. But not because they were like scared of the big bad wolf or anything. They were just like, that doesn't make any sense. Why do they all live in separate houses? Like they're city kids, they know how high rent is, you know? Like, they were like, I just don't understand. Why don't all 3 pigs live in the brick house and rent out the other 2 for a profit? That's what they should. And I was like, well, what about the big bad wolf? What about him? They're like, clearly just a metaphor of a gentrification. That's all that is. They're smart kids. You guys are really nice. I want to open up to you and tell you something a little bit embarrassing. So my name is Amy Rose Ranger, and sometimes if I first meet someone and there's like a lull in the conversation, I'll awkwardly like reintroduce myself and be like, yeah, my name is Amy Rose Ranger, which means my initials are R, like a pirate. Which isn't a cool thing to say. You guys are correct in that. But a few years ago I was on a blind date with this guy named Ryan Evans, and there was that lull in the conversation, so I bring it out. I say, yeah, so my name is Amy Rose Ranger, the whole thing. R, you get it. And he goes to me, I got you beat. Which, like, we're on a date, like, it was not a competition, like, that's weird. But he was like, I got you beat. My full name, Ryan Aaron Patrick Evans. What, your initials? Why are you telling? You don't have to tell me that. You know what I mean? Like, what? That'd be like if I opened up the date with like a cute little story about me and been like, yeah, so cute fact about me, I have a birthmark on my shoulder, it looks kind of like a turtle, and he'd been like, got you beat. Got a birthmark on my shoulder, looks like rape. Like, don't tell me that. No, like, it's not a fun fact. If you're going bald and your bald spot looks like a swastika, put a hat on. Like, it's not a fun fact. You know what I mean? I decided to continue the date, just because his initials spell, I'm not a pirate, you know what I mean? Like I was like, so the next thing he says is, so I'm a feminist, and I was about to be like, cool, me too, but I couldn't say that because he keeps talking, and then he said, Yeah, my views on dating, they used to not be very progressive. I used to think of dating like this. Like I'm a fisherman and you're a fish, and I throw out a line and I catch you. And I was about to be like, I agree, that's not very feminist, because in that scenario, you're a person and I'm a fish. But I couldn't say that because he keeps talking. And then he said, not my views, they're much more progressive. I think of dating like this, like I'm a fisherman and you're a fish, and I throw a net. So you have a chance to get away if you want. And then he was like, it's more consensual. I'm like, that's not a thing. It is or isn't. But in the moment, I just like was so stunned. I didn't even know what to say. And then he was like, you haven't said much tonight. Tell me something interesting about yourself. I was like, oh God. Like, so what I ended up saying, I was like, okay, Mr. Ryan, Aaron, Patrick Evans, something interesting about me. I told him, I said, I often have a wooden spoon in my purse, which is true. I'm a quirky girl, okay? Anyway. And he goes, I got you beat. And he reaches into his bag and he pulls out a net. But I got away, so it's fine. I live to tell the tale. Thank you. That's it for me. I'm Amy Rose Ranger. Thanks very much.
Keep it going for Amy Rose Ranger.